startups, investment and support is vital. We're seeing a huge growth in the technology and some great ideas, but what kind of support are we getting? Neil Cloughley from Faradair is joining us here on the program. Neil, tell us about the startups and the challenges you face.
It's interesting. I mean, it depends, I think, where you sit in this whole aerospace network. The first thing is, if you're a startup within the supply chain for a major tier one, that's a very different ballgame. You will get support. If you're outside of that, and let's say you're a SME prime, you're wanting to actually manufacture something yourself, that's a lot more difficult. But this isn't a new story. This is something we've faced for 80 years. In 1934, there was a young man came forward with an idea for a design and took it to the Air Ministry, and the Air Ministry folks looked at it and said, no, old boy, change it, wood, fabric, 2 wings, get rid of that. And he didn't believe them. He believed in what he was doing, and so he went away for 2 years and came back and invited them back to the test flight of this aeroplane at Eastleigh, and it was the first flight of the Spitfire in 1936. And jaws dropped because the world was a different place in 36 from 34, and when can we have it? Sadly, he was dead the following year at the age of 42, cancer. And he never got to see that aircraft become the legend that it became. So that was back then. Fast forward that to even the early 90s. My father had a UAV company, and we had the world's first combat UAV, a joined wing V-tail UAV that could have carried munitions in 1990. But we were playing with a thing called the GEC Phoenix, and it was a poor UAV. Unfortunately, his business didn't survive. The Americans bought the assets, won an $80 million US Marine contract, and the rest is history. We're now buying American UAVs. So I spent many years in the commercial market, and the one thing I recognized was the fact that we are still having to travel by road and rail to commute between our cities, which is fundamentally wrong. But the solutions that we have in the marketplace are clearly not working, because we're not all flying by Robinson R44 into London every day. We're not all flying by turboprop to Edinburgh every day as a private PC-12 type thing. So based on some of that UAV technology, we thought, right, well, let's create an aircraft. Let's create something that does the job. And so in 2014, we founded an aerospace manufacturing startup called Faradair, with a joined wing. It's a triple box wing design with a specific purpose to get in and out of a very short space, lift a lot, carry people or cargo or supplies, whatever it is, between cities, and use hybrid electric propulsion and this whole new technology that's coming available. So we said that in 2014. We presented it to various government bodies, such as the ATI in 2015, and no, there's no real interest here to back that. And we've seen what's happened in the last 3 years, where this has just boomed. But we have a problem. We have a disconnect. We have the UK aerospace industry is fantastic. It's huge. We do amazing things in the sector. But they are very powerful. They have the ability to go and speak to ministers and brief people and do things, which means that they get the lion's share of funding. So, as an example, we have 340 million worth of innovation funding announced by the government for aerospace. I just looked at the sheet yesterday, which saw where that first tranche has been broken down. 144 million has gone to Rolls-Royce and Airbus. Now, yes, there are some SMEs, there are some companies in that supply chain who will get some of that, but if you're outside of that supply chain, it's almost impossible.
Well, let's hope we start seeing some change soon.
Fingers crossed.
Neil, thank you very much for joining the program.
No problem.